you to ride. Change positions. Now stroke it, baby. Yeah, stroke it for me, stroke it for me.
Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Elle Chanel, and today I'll be doing a client transformation video on my cousin Crystal. So right now we're getting into the skin prep. I'm prepping her skin with the Becca Ever Matte Poreless Primer for her oily areas. She's combination skin, so I've already put moisturizer on her cheeks, and she gets a little oily in her brows, so I'm putting some of that Laura Mercier translucent powder and patching up any area where I see oil. All right, now let's get into these brows. I'm using the NYX Micro Brow Pencil in the color Brunette. And I love this pencil because it looks like it gives you that very natural brow. I don't like super dark brows, and you won't get that out of these kind of pencils. If you haven't already, please make sure you subscribe. Make sure you like this video. Make sure you comment. Make sure you hit that notification bell so you can get all my videos when I upload them. All right, now let's continue. To define her brows, I'll be using LA Girl's Pro Concealer in the shade Pure Beige. And I'm using my Real Techniques brush to clean that right on up and make it really clean and precise. For her eyeshadow base, I did use two concealers. I used first ColourPop's concealer in medium dark, number 36, and I used Makeup Revolution's concealer in the shade C1. That's their lightest concealer. Now, the reason being I used two concealers is because I didn't want her eyelids to look too yellowish, and I didn't want them to look too, chalk white. So I made a custom blend, honey. Sometimes you gotta do that. Sometimes I use a brush and sometimes I use a beauty sponge to blend out the concealer on the eyelid. In this particular case, I wanted to use a brush because I wanted to still clean up under her brows. So that's what you see me doing here. Moving on to eyeshadow, I'll be using Jacklyn Hill's First palette. And I'll be using 3 brown shades. And the 3 shades are Butter, Pooter, and Pookie. So when you flip the palette, you'll see all of the names of the eyeshadows listed on the back of the palette. The brush I'm using is the Morphe M514 brush. Whenever I use any shimmer shadows, I always use the NYX glitter primer. It just makes the shimmer shadows show up so much better. It gives such a great payoff. All right, so we're moving on to her shimmer shadow. The first shade I'm using is in fact from Anastasia Beverly Hills MoonChild Glow Kit. Yes, a glow kit is a highlighter palette, and yes, I'm using it on her eyelids. You can use that on your eyelid. You can use highlighters on your eyes. Don't be afraid. It's the same thing, really. So the shade that I'm using in her inner corner is called Blue Ice. I just felt like it would blend in so beautifully with the next shade that I'm using from Anastasia Beverly Hills Riviera palette. And the shade that I'm using is called Mediterranean. And I'm just using my finger and I'm lightly tapping that onto her eyelid right over that NYX glitter primer. On the outer edges of her eyelids, I'm going to use the shade SBN. S is in Sam, B is in boy, N. This is also from the Jacklyn Hill palette. And I'm just lightly dusting that to kind of blend into that blue. The lashes I'll be using are from Crystal's lash line. It's called New Luxe Collection. And the name of them are XD01. I will link that below so you all can go and get you some lashes, honey. And so I'm just applying them now. I already lined her eyes with the NYX matte liner. And I'm just making sure that liner is clean and precise. And I need them to cut the eyes, honey. Cut. The first concealer shade that I'm going to use is C1 by Makeup Revolution. That is the same concealer that I used on her eyelids. And I am going to mix her concealers as well. No, I won't leave it this bright. I'm just taking some of LA Girls Pro Concealer's Pure Beige and I'm just adding that over that Makeup Revolution concealer with my Real Technique brush. I always use Real Techniques brushes, sponges. That's just my go-to. I love their brushes. I really like that line. For foundation, I'm going to use Maybelline's Super Stay Foundation in the shade 332 Golden Caramel. This is a matte foundation. I did say that she is combination skin, but I did hydrate her cheeks so it won't look too dry on her cheeks. She's not extremely dry on her cheeks, but you know. So this is a full coverage foundation and I am using my Real Techniques brush. Also, I want to let you all know you can get Real Techniques brushes from Ulta, Walgreens, Target. I think I even seen them in Walmart, you know, CVS too. So yes, that's what I use. I love them. going back in with the same concealers that I used. I just felt like she needed a little bit more added, and I honestly felt like I wanted to add some yellow to her concealer. So I went and I used my NYX concealer palette, and I used the yellow shade that's in the NYX concealer palette. That palette is called Medium, so you can find that at Ulta as well. And there it is. No, her eyelids aren't really dark, but we were taking breaks in between, so I just felt like the concealer was moving around and I needed to place more. And so anyway, moving on to her setting powder, I'm using Laura Mercier's translucent powder with my Real Techniques sponge. Let me get that out clearly. Real Techniques sponge, and I'm just patting that under her eyes and on her forehead. It is damp, so make sure it's damp. You don't want your eyes to look powdery, so yes, make sure your sponge is damp. I mean, it should be damp anyway whenever you're using it, period. So, and I'm just taking one of my favorite brushes by Morphe, and I'm just lightly dusting off any excess powder that I see. And I am gonna place some of my MAC Mineralize Skin Finish powder in the shade Medium Tan to give her that smooth HD look. Like, you wanna look smooth under them eyes. Like, if it ain't smooth, you need to take it off and redo it. All right, so we're gonna get into this contour. We need those cheeks to be snatched and pulled in. So we're gonna use Bobbi Brown's Golden Almond 6.5 foundation stick. I used to work for Bobbi Brown, so I have so many foundation sticks, like so many. And I'm gonna also use one of my Morphe brushes. The name wiped off. This is actually an old brush, so I'm just using it's an angled fluffy brush. The hairs are really close together and tight, so I use that whenever I'm blending in any cream contour. So yes, I'm just speeding this up because honestly, y'all kind of know how to contour. If you don't, I mean, come on now, it's 2019. Like, you should know how to blend in some contour at this point. All right, now moving on to setting her cream contour, I'm gonna use Beige setting powder in the shade Camel. Yes, people typically put this under their eyes, but I am setting her contour with this powder because I just felt like it was a perfect shade. And why not? Like, I mean, you can use it for this video. You're gonna see me using a lot of stuff that's meant for different purposes, but you can still use it for other things. You got to improvise sometimes. That's what makeup and artistry is about, period. So yes, and now I'm just taking that medium tan Mineralize Skin Finish by MAC, and I'm just lightly dusting that all over her face because I need everything to be perfectly blended. And I'm using an e.l.f. brush. This e.l.f. brush, when I say this e.l.f. brush is amazing, like it really is. And it's called the highlighting brush, and I think it was like $3 from Ulta. I wanted to incorporate a different shade of blue, but I didn't know where I wanted to place it. So I chose to place it under her lash line. And this is an old pencil from NYX. It's called Aqua Shimmer. So it's a aqua blue color with silver shimmers. Don't even know if they still sell it, but it's pretty. So I'm using a highlighter by Urban Decay. It's so pretty. It's really glittery. It's called Aura. And I'm just having her smile to place it there. The lip liner I'm using today is called Hawkwind by Kat Von D. It's her everlasting lip liner. It actually came in a holiday set of 3. So I don't even know if they're still selling this, but it's so pretty. I'm not gonna lie. Get her lip liners because they're really creamy and just, man, go on like butter. So I'm using NYX's Lip Lingerie. It is a liquid matte. And I'm using Morphe's lip toppers. This came in a 12-piece set around the holiday season as well. The lip topper is called Jinx. And the liquid lip color is called Corset. So I'm just using a lip brush and I'm just painting that on them lips, baby. To top everything off, I'm using a Beauty Supply lip gloss by Max. It's my favorite. I love it. And yes, this is the finished look. I love it. I love it. I love it. It just came out so pretty. So thanks for watching. I love you all. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to my channel and follow me on Instagram. Love you guys. Bye.